Today we're going to learn how to use Glisser's data analytics function. So obviously with Glisser, a big part of what you're doing is engaging your audience, but a lot of the value from using it actually comes from the data afterwards, because then you can see how engaged your audience were and who was interacting with your content. So to do that, if I just go to the dashboard quickly, we can see for this account that we've got lots and lots of presentations. Now this presentation was actually formed part of a one-day conference. Now, rather than have to analyze each of the presentations individually, which you can and we're going to do in a minute, you can actually start by getting an overview from your event of how engaged the audience was. So to do that, I'm just going to go to events on the left-hand side and then select my event so I can see this one here and then go analytics. This is going to give me an overview of all of the presentation, so I can see the total number of attendees, how many questions were asked, the number of votes on the questions, how many people downloaded the content, liked the content, voted in the polls, were tweeting, and also a nice round number of the total interactions. So this is obviously a nice broad overview, gives you a good indication, and you can also download that data as well on the whole. And that download takes the form of an Excel CSV. So then that's very easily integrated into other CRM systems that you might want to share this with. Now I can see on each of the presentations here, I can just go into each one and get a more detailed understanding. So let's pick this one here. I'm going to go view, and this will bring up what would happen if you selected an individual presentation. Now, I can see all of the attendees. If I click here, I'll get a list of all of the emails. I'm not going to show you guys I'm not going to show you guys this data, because this is confidential, but you would get a list of all the attendees' emails, along with when they attended and the option to get in touch with them directly. You can see who's downloaded the content as well, along with if they've made any notes. You can also see who's asked which questions. So whereas the questions were anonymous beforehand during the live experience, now you can see down to the user who's been asking each individual question. You can also see who's been liking slides. And as this is up already, we may as well show you, we can see the slides that have got the most likes. So we can see here that there's a pattern emerging. I can see this slide, for example, got a nice amount of likes. I might then want to use that as the basis for follow-up content afterwards. I can also see who's been tweeting, and I can see the results of my poll. And again, just like the event, all this data can be downloaded. So it gives you a very detailed understanding of exactly how engaged your audience were and also when they were engaged. So you can start to see which pieces of content did well and potentially which pieces of content could be improved for your next event. So that's how to use data analytics. If you've got any questions, then let us know in the comments.